Hey gang, Spada here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Beast Machines Deluxe Class Skydive. Now, I'm pretty sure Skydive's alternate mode is supposed to be a trans-organic pterodon. But in all honesty, it looks more like a giant fossilized seagull. Of course, I could be insane saying that, but the beast mode doesn't particularly look very good or very convincing. Now, it does have a gimmick in this mode where we take the bottom of the head and then flip it forward, and it's supposed to, I guess it's supposed to act like it's trying to eat something, but it doesn't really work all that well. It's not bad, but it doesn't really work all that well. Overall, though, the beast mode, the colors don't bother me. The orange and the purple, yes, it's a little garish, but it doesn't bother me all that much. It's not flimsy. It just kind of falls apart in your hand very easily, and things go out of place, and it just doesn't stay together all that well. But overall, the beast mode's not terrible. The robot mode, however, is another matter. Transformation into robot mode is not exactly what I would call easy. It's one of the more annoying transformations. So we'll start off by getting the legs ready. So we'll actually fold out the rear legs and fold them out to more closely resemble what would be robot legs. So there are a bunch of there are ball joints and swivels and a bunch of different things in place there. Swivel down and then another swivel, just a little bit crazy. Next, what we'll do is put the legs straight down and fold them, the whole leg unit, towards the back of the bird mode, towards the spark. That will just get it out of the way. Now we get to play with the middle of the figure. This is where things get a little bit weird, simply because it all unfolds. So we'll fold the part with the spark up, and then we'll take this section here and fold it down and out of the way. So what we're doing is we're kind of filleting the inside of the bird. Next, and this is pretty cool actually, you turn or open the middle of the figure such that the wings are crossed over the front of the bird face. And then you swivel them around. So you can see it there. And then they will go like that. And then we take the head and collapse it over like that. And then we take the legs and swivel them up in front of the head, and then collapse them back down. And this whole section goes over the back neck of the bird mode. And then this little flap covers the bird mode face. So really what we did is, here's the bird mode. We turned it completely, we went like this, and then completely turned it inside out. It's not hard, it's just a little annoying. So then what we do with the arms, and this is kind of silly, we take the silver parts, and according to the directions, you're supposed to point them straight up. You can, or you can kind of leave them off to the side, and then the wing membranes, you're supposed to put up like that, and they will snap into place, because they're on a spring. There are small springs in there. And then here we have Skydive in robot mode. Skydive is incredibly difficult to pose in robot mode, simply because the overall weight of the figure. Besides the fact that you've got these wings on the shoulders, you've got these wings on the back of the hands, and then the figure has the figure has a dinosaur, a flying dinosaur's mouth sticking out of its ass. Do I really need to say anything else about that? Yeah, let's just continue to look at the figure head on. It's safer for everyone that way. The figure also has a lot of posability. Head is on a ball joint, ball joint in the shoulders, ball joint at the elbows, ball joint at the wrists, ball joint at the hip, these swivel joints here at the knee, above the knee, and then a ball joint at the knee, ball joints at the feet. So you can get some poses out of this guy, but it's incredibly difficult given pecker butt there. So, as you can see, we're having a malfunction. So overall, the figure isn't bad. It's just very oddly proportioned and extremely top-heavy. And to be honest, I really don't like these, not middle fingers, but these giant ring finger claws. I get what they were going for, but it just, I mean, can you imagine him trying to type? That just wouldn't work. So overall, it's not a bad idea. It's not a really bad execution, but just the yeah, he has a giant dinosaur head sticking out of his butt. Your argument is invalid. So one way to mitigate the top-heavy issue is actually have him with the wings deployed on his hands. I know it looks stupid, but it could act as a kind of a weapon. Like, he could get a scissor action going, or these could be really sharp and be bladed. And that does actually help quite a bit with the top heaviness of the figure. But overall, you still run the risk, you still run the problem of if anybody looks at his at the back of the figure, yeah. So getting him back into the bird mode is not, once you know how to transform him, it's not that bad, but it is still a little convoluted. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely different. That is for sure. It's not like any other Transformer I've ever owned. It's just very, very unique, we will say. It's especially unique considering it has a... Well, okay, you know where I was going with that. But it is very interesting in the fact that you're effectively completely, like, opening up the dinosaur mode and then rotating it around. I can't think of any other figures off the top of my head that are similar. That's also something that'll happen quite a bit with this figure. The arms just have a tendency to pop off every now and then, but they do go back in very, very easily, which is nice. I said very easily. Don't make me a liar. Yep. It does take a little bit of force, but they do go back in. In fact, I think that's how I was transforming him for a long time, breaking him, and then putting it back together. So, like I said, it is a little bit fiddly, but it's not too bad. Just a little bit fiddly. So, and there we go. Ish. So, Skydive, it's not a bad figure per se. It's just, it is a little weird. I'm not going to lie there. I'm not sure what the designers were thinking. He's definitely not perfect, but this giant, horribly mutated fossil seagull isn't too bad. He did get a repaint, but you know what? I'd only pick this mold up if you absolutely have to have it.